Welcome and let's get started. Dozens of residents of La Palm Wine here in Accra are accusing the La Municipal Assembly of selective demolition as armed military and police officers pulled down their structures this morning. Many people have been rendered homeless and shops affected by the exercise. Spokesperson for the affected residents, Sakina, told Joy News the assembly claimed they have built on waterways, but a filling station near their structures has been left standing. Kwete Nate has the rest of the story.
For about 2 months now, they came to mark our structures that it was on waterway, and so we had to remove them. And we went back to see them and told them that it is untrue that our structures are on waterway. So, in fact, between us and LADMA officials, the issue came to the point that we had to remove sheds which were in front of the shops. And so, as of yesterday, 5 p.m., we had removed all the sheds, only for us to come up this morning to see that all the shops have been pulled down. In fact, they say that we were on waterway. Indeed, we are not on waterway. So some of us engaged, had interaction with the MCE, and we asked her that if we are on waterway, how then was the filling station permitted to site his fuel station on the same stretch of land which you claim it's waterway? Apparently, we found out that the owners of the filling station have compromised the MCE with the LADMA officials because prior to these notices, we never had, experienced any abuse like this. The owners of the filling station earlier had wanted to pay us off, and we said no. Indeed, when the floods came on June 3rd, they came to some of us, to our houses, to tell us to receive, specified amounts of money so that we leave. And we told them no. But then they told us they were going to get the land anyhow they would. And so we believe that LADMA officials have been compromised.
I have been affected very, very bad. I have so many machines in there. I have sewing machines, straight sewing machines, 10. I have knitting machine, and I have digital embroidery machines too, which cost me a lot of money. So this thing has costed a lot to me, very, very badly. I don't even know how I can describe it. Only because a man, you have to be at least calm in situation. That's why I still am calm, but it's not easy. It's not easy at all.
Were you informed prior to this demolition exercise?
They give us some rating of remove. Later they came in produce permit. But at least if you ask someone to produce permit, you should give the person a time. Because when it comes to permit, maybe it's a document, it may be somewhere. So you have to give an ample time to the person. But as soon as they came with this permit thing, then all we hear was that they are coming, and then this dawn. Even I was in my bed before they called me. When I get here, the machine was working. You cannot even, the police is not allowing you to enter, you to pick anything. For now, I'll be honest with you, I will find a lawyer and sue them. That's my intention. And everything that I've lost, I will make sure I get it from them.
A somber ceremony has been held in Accra to commemorate the 3rd anniversary of the death of President John Evans Atta Mills. Beatrice Edu was at the Asomdwe Park for Joy News.
Over here at the Asomdwe Park is a very somber ceremony, brief ceremony to mark the 3rd anniversary of the passing of the late president. The Vice President, Kwesi Amisa Arthur, has just laid a wreath on the tomb. The Attorney General as well as some government officials are here to commemorate this somber day. It's a day of reflection for many of these government officials regarding what the late president stood for and what they want to forever remember him for. Let's now speak to Communications Minister Dr. Edward Omanebuama just to tell us about how he felt, what memories came to his mind when he took part in the wreath laying ceremony, rather somber and simple one. Doc, what was going through your mind as you took part in this?
I remembered my last moments with Prof not too long after that. About 2 days, he passed on. I also remembered when his ADC, Colonel Lawson, called me minutes after the unfortunate incident occurred from the 37 military hospital and I had to pass on the information to the elders that I was supposed to inform. Prof can be remembered for varied reasons. He was a very humble man, very intelligent, very, 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 very intelligent. He loved his nation. He loved people. He loved the youth. I'm an example of his affection and great love for the youth and several others, not just in his own political party. When you hear people like Honorable Aslousu from the MPP side, Mr. Kwame Akufu also from the MPP side, talk about their relationship with Professor Mills, that will let you appreciate the man that we are remembering today. He served this nation very well. In celebrating Prof, we are not celebrating a saint, I do admit. As a human being, he had his own shortcomings. But if we are to do a fair assessment of this great man of this nation, of this great icon of Africa, one will come to a conclusion that this is a man who lived a life worth emulating.
So walking from the tomb where the wreaths have been laid by families and friends, it's actually written on it from comrades and friends, as well as in love and memory from the White House group. It's been a somber and a very short ceremony here for the late Professor Mills, and even as the official ceremony has been held, there are a number of people, Ghanaians, who are coming in to also pay their last respect here. So it's just been brief and short ceremony. My name is Beatrice Edu for Joy News.
The remand congestion rate in prisons across the country has reduced from 21 to 17%. This follows the many interventions the Chief Justice put in place after the Logged and Forgotten documentary. The Chief Justice, Georgina Theodora Wood, activated the Justice for All program and also dedicated the months of April and May to hear only remand cases. The Justice for All program is still underway, and today they are at Ankerful prisons in Cape Coast hearing remand cases. 2 courts are currently sitting. Seth Kwame Boateng is there with the Justice for All team and has joined us on the telephone. Seth, how many cases are being heard today?
Today, the 2 judges are hearing 47 cases, and as of now, they've been able to hear about 20 of the cases.
Seth, do we know if any of those on trial have been acquitted or discharged?
Yes. So, Court 1, where Justice Munyenuga is, he has granted 2 persons bail, acquitted and discharged 2 also, and some of them, they are supposed to come with sureties and get their bail applications granted. And he has refused about 6 bail applications that have come before him. I understand Court 2, the judge there, Justice Clemens, Justice Constant Ometou, has also discharged, has convicted 1 and has granted bail to 6 of them, and they are still hearing the cases.
We also understand today a medical team from the Ghana Health Service participated in the hearings. What can you tell us?
I've been attending to the inmates, those at the remand site where we are presently. I understand in some of the prisons that the Justice for All visited, they realized that the people were not, their health were not all that good, so they decided to come with them and screen the inmates here. So far, I've seen that they have finished with their program, and they mainly attended to malaria and skin diseases, and these are the 2 major health issues that inmates in the prisons are battling with.
Okay, thank you very much. That's Seth Kwame Boateng with the Justice for All team. There have been some acquittals and discharges. Also, bail has been granted to some of the remand prisoners. Now, Head of Local Government Service in WA, Dr. Callistus Mahama, has warned to sanction metropolitan, municipal and district chief executives and their coordinating directors who fail to meet the targets set in the performance contract. All Metropolitan, Municipal and District Assemblies signed a performance contract on 6 thematic areas on which they will be assessed by the end of the first quarter of 2016. The assemblies may either be suspended or reassigned, or they may be demoted. He made a statement during the contract performance signing of district chief executives and their coordinating directors in WA.
All 11 municipal and district chief executives and their coordinating directors in the region signed a performance contract on behalf of their municipal and district assemblies. The purpose of the signing of the performance contract is to enable all metropolitan, municipal and district assemblies to comply with the provisions of the Local Government Act, Act 462 of 1993, and the Local Government Service Act 656 of 2003. It is also to guide management to set achievable targets and produce results within given time frames. Upper West Regional Minister Atani Delali Emmanuel stated that the government is highly interested in the development of the local government system and urged the chief executives and their coordinating directors to adopt pragmatic strategies to ensure that they meet the aspirations of the people they serve.
Over the years, there has been some concern about the performance and output of some of the staff of the local government service in terms of poor services rendered to clients and the general public, despite several reforms that have been introduced in the recent past to improve performance in the service. The system is still characterized with inertia from members of the service, coupled with the fact that there are no benchmarks to measure performance at the local level. This new arrangement is therefore designed as part of a performance management system to improve the efficiency and effectiveness of service delivery to enhance productivity.
All assemblies in the country will be judged at the end of the first quarter of 2016 on 6 thematic areas which are stated in the performance contract. They include 4 top priority areas of the assemblies, implementation of annual action plan, and performance reporting. Head of Local Government Service, Dr. Kalisus Mohammed warned failure by the assemblies to implement what is stated in the performance contract will result in sanctions for the chief executives, coordinating directors and their subordinate officers.
The sanctions are individual and collective. So first, because we are assessing the performance of staff and the assembly, we are looking at what sanctions can go to individuals, and then collectively how can the assembly also be pushed to that extent. So the sanctions range from termination of appointment, reduction in in rank, suspension, reassignment on the individual. When it comes to the assembly, because the direct beneficiaries are the citizens, you cannot punish them. So the political head of that, you have to be held responsible, and that portion of accountability comes from the presidency. We handle this other aspect, and then the presidency also decide whether to renew the appointment of the chief executive or any other sanction that will fall in. So there are deterrents for non-performance.
2 district chief executives claim to say to deploy and bomb Kofi Diako of Jirapa and Lemuse Kanu respectively, pledge to ensure that the performance contract is implemented to the fullest.
Your own self as a DC, you need to take advice, because once it is about money and the money is not for you, you are spending the money on behalf of the people of Jirapa, in my case. So you need to really listen to the auditors and take, and you will be fine. You will be safe one day. Otherwise, if you think that you know it all, you don't respect audit procedures, you want anything that you want to be done, you think that the auditor shouldn't have a say. That is where tomorrow you will be called to answer and you will be found culpable.
One important thing kept at the performance contract just signed by the various district assemblies in the region has to do with the issue of client service initiative. Here, the people will have that opportunity of sending their grievances to the various district assemblies. In that way, it will improve the relationship between the assemblies and the people here. Reporting for J News, Rafiq Salam. Wow.
This is News Today on Joy News on Multi TV. Some stories we've been telling you about. We heard from residents of Palm Wine Junction. They are accusing the Dadekoto Assembly of selectivity in a demolition exercise. We also heard from our man Seth Kwame Boateng from the Justice for All program. There's been some acquittals and discharges. Also, bail has been granted some remand prisoners. I'm Francisca Kakwa-Folson. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back. Welcome back to News Today on Joy News on Multi TV. The New Patriotic Party parliamentary primaries for the Korle-Klottey constituency is in limbo. An application has been filed at the High Court to restrain the party from conducting the polls on Saturday. An injunction has also been placed on primaries planned for Kwesimintim constituency. My colleague Kwache Afre-Nyama has more on this.
Presented a fake certificate from the University of Ghana to the vetting committee.
That's lawyer Philip Addison they're talking about.
No, I'm talking about the contender. And those in court right now are challenging the candidacy of Nino Inote. That's why this application for injunction has been filed at the High Court. And they are saying that they are asking the High Court to do a number of things here. They are unhappy with how the appeals committee of the MPP went about this whole issue insofar as clearing Nino Inote, one of the three aspirants in the Korle-Klottey constituency, to contest for this particular election. And let me go specifically to the reliefs that they are seeking here. They want, number one, a declaration that the second defendant's degree certificate, and when you talk about the second defendant here, once again we are talking about Nino Inote, that his degree certificate is a piece of forgery. That's the first declaration that they want the High Court to make on this particular matter. They also want a declaration that the second defendant acted fraudulently when he declared and submitted those particular forms to the vetting committee of the MPP, which the appeals committee again sat on.
We are hearing of another injunction in Kwesimintim constituency. Tell us about that.
In Kwesimintim constituency, two candidates was expected to be on the ballot sheet. The incumbent MP Joe Bedu-Ansah, who has been in Parliament for more than 10 years now, and his main contender there, the only contender in fact until he was disqualified by the party. And the main reason he was disqualified was that they said that he had his ID card, his party ID card, and other documents that again he presented to the vetting committee were fake. Now Mr. Joe Mensah says that even though he was disqualified, he was not officially informed by the party. So in this particular case, the court has actually granted the injunction. And so in Kwesimintim constituency as well, the New Patriotic Party will be unable to hold the primaries there.
The Electoral Commission has no plans of revising the voters' register. According to the Public Affairs Director of the Commission, Christian Usupari, the current register is credible and accurate enough for the general elections next year. That's the EC's response to demands from a pressure group for the electoral roll to be updated ahead of the elections in 2016. So what does this group, Let My Vote Count, make of the EC's stance? Convener of the group, David Asante, has been speaking to me earlier. The bottom line right now, the EC says they're not going to revise the register. What are you going to do? What's going to happen next?
Well, there are quite a few legitimate actions we shall soon roll out, and we want to send an interesting signal to the Commission. The political parties come together on a platform created by the EC, which they call the IPAC. That means, in spite of the autonomy of the Commission, they still have platforms to take views from the political parties. And all these parties have raised issues about the credibility of the voters' register. They must listen. Just like what happened in Togo. His Excellency, President.
They didn't listen to you this time around. Does it end there?
I have heard Christian Owusu-Parry this morning on a couple of stations. He backtracked. I mean, previously I was with him on Joy News last night, but this morning I heard him.
Does that mean they are going to revise the register? He's just speaking.
I am excited about their sudden U-turn they have taken. They must listen because they are the referee in the middle of the game. The political parties are the major stakeholders and the EC is the referee. You must listen to the parties with whom you are getting into the election.
Quickly to wrap up, they have listened to you and they have made a decision that they're going with the same register. What will you do?
The EC and the entire body is made up of about 6 or so persons with their boss. The population of Ghana is over 25 million. It is not their interest, it is the interest of the masses. They will listen. We will have a fresh voters register in this country.
That's a prediction you're making?
It's not a prediction. The point I'm trying to establish is that the cost involved in procuring a fresh register can never be compared to the cost involved in post-election violence.
There were speculations that the Volta River Authority intended to shut down the Akosombo Dam due to the continuous dwindling of the water levels in the dam. But speaking to Joy News editor Israel Lai, Samuel Fletcher indicated the water level in the dam has improved. So what is informing this possible shutdown, and have the levels changed? Joy News editor Israel Lai has been providing some answers. Is it true that the VRA is considering a shutdown?
No, it's not true. They have repeated it several times, and it has to do with I'm talking about people who have to take the decision, people in authority at VRA, and they would continue to insist that it's not going to happen. And the reason why they say that is you don't want to shut the dam completely, especially because the water is necessary or is needed downstream. If you shut down the dam, what it means is that there's no water flowing downstream. Do you appreciate that? I mean, to that extent, the VRA does not intend to shut down the dam. They're saying worst case scenario, they're going to operate just 2 turbines. There are 6 turbines at the Akosombo Dam, and they're going to operate just 2 if it happens to be the case. Yesterday, I actually asked that question because we have seen a decline in the level of water, and it's been declining for some time now, except that they are saying that it is not declining as fast as it used to. And because of that, they've actually been able to add on an additional turbine. So they're running 5 units, sorry, at the moment. If the situation was that bad, they would probably have had to reduce it to the 2. But to shut down, they're saying it's not going to happen.
Israel, quickly, yesterday we know that you were on tour with engineers there. What else did you observe? Somotex Ghana Limited has launched its new multi-TV digital receiver in the Volta Regional Capital Hall. The new digital receiver, dubbed MTV 1722, is designed to have a high-definition video display, crystal clear sound, and enhanced navigation through the channels.
Speaking at the launch, a member of Multi-TV's distribution team, William Addison, said the new receiver is designed with a focus on delivering new experiences and features to consumers at an affordable price.
You know, Somotex is one of the accredited multi-TV distributors in Ghana. We have strong, we have syndicated, and Somotex is one of them. For some time now, their boxes are not in the market, but currently they have brought a new one, and we are relaunching them through Creative Ventures in Hope. So this is the first launching. I'm sure we'll come to Accra to also do a bigger one also in Accra.
CEO of Creative Ventures, Multi-TV's sole distributor in the Volta region, Sefas Kwashi, said the new receiver would address consumers' demand for a device that would allow them enjoy uninterrupted services.
One of the features that this one has is that it has a video recorder that will enable you to record any program you like and come back and watch later. This decoder that we are launching today has an ability to explore over 200 channels, as you can see. And this very decoder is very portable and very sleeky.
The new portable receiver has a CD case encryption, multiple source inputs, including a USB port, RF and HD inputs, among others. The product is available at the main office of Creative Ventures, located opposite the Ho main lorry station, and at all outlets.
Passengers of a British Airways flight from Accra to London, which was grounded just before takeoff, have been flown to London. Captain of the flight BA078 on Wednesday night announced that a male passenger and a female colleague had made a demand to get off the plane. The angry passengers were yesterday sent to London after putting up in hotels. British Airways apologized on their Twitter handle. We spoke to one of the passengers, Kojo Bentum Williams.
They took us to, they give us options to the different hotels: Golden Tulip, Holiday Inn, Eastside Hotel, African Regents, I think La Palm or Labadi, I mean different hotels. And those who wanted to go home, they made arrangements for them. Okay, so what happened was that they just sent us information around that they were picking up from our hotels around 4 o'clock, which they did.
Has British Airways explained?
What they said to us was that this gentleman or this passenger wasn't going to go any longer, so they had was the obligation to get him off the plane.
Did they tell you why the passenger wanted?
No, they didn't do. They didn't do. Which we think that they owe us an explanation to do that.
Have they been offering any compensation?
The pilot one just got on board. He apologized again and said to us that they can't use words to apologize and all of that. So those who like to do a compensation, they give us a form to fill to start a process.
Time now for some business reports with me, Abigail Adomakoenchi. Let's start off with something on the oil palm sector. And outgrowers and smallholder farmers in the oil palm sector are asking government to expedite the implementation of a 10% import adjustment tax on crude palm oil. They also want government to increase the tax of importers without plantations in the country to about 15%. This, they say, will protect the sector against cheap imported low-quality crude palm oil competing with the local ones. The call by the outgrower and smallholder oil palm farmers is contrary to the Oil Palm Development Association of Ghana's wish. The association has been pushing for the elimination of the tax because it believes it would help develop the sector. But the outgrower and smallholder farmers insist it would only serve the interest of manufacturers and dealers who import cheap crude palm oil from other countries.
Foreigners are importing crude palm oil from Malaysia, Sumatra, Indonesia, and the Far East countries, and dumping them in Ghana, refining them, and then selling them. Now, if they don't pay tax, the end product of what they produce will be cheap, and local mills, which have got plantations, cannot compete with them favorably at the world market. They will therefore be compelled to reduce the price of fresh fruit bunches, which our local farmers sell to them. By so doing, the industry will collapse. They want the tax for foreigners without farms in Ghana increased to 15%. And surprisingly, some people are making a move, pressurizing the government to stop the taxation. We see that will be more or less an economic sabotage because government needs money. And virtually anything which we import into this country attracts tax. Why should the government tax people who bring palm oil, which is a commodity which is already in Ghana? The sector currently produces and consumes in excess of 200,000 metric tons of oil palm and employs thousands of workers. And for the farmers, taxes on importers will help with exports and secure jobs for the youth. The government delegation is set to embark on a fact-finding mission to Nigeria on the company selected to operate the single window scheme at Ghana's ports, West Blue. The IT solutions provider is expected to begin running the scheme the ports from September 1. Some industry players, including destination inspection companies, have kicked against the move, saying the same kind of scheme is being provided by GCNet. But Trade and Industry Minister Dr. Akosombo Dam says an interagency group will visit Nigeria in 2 weeks' time to do some due diligence on the company.
An interministerial, interagency group is being assembled, hopefully to visit Nigeria within the next 2 weeks if all things are ready. It's an interagency fact-finding mission, which is intended to visit Nigeria, maybe Lagos, maybe Abuja, depending on which cities the information can be gotten from, to with clear terms of reference, which are not necessarily West Blue specific, but to understand what has happened in Nigeria with regards to its customs administration, with regards to how they have moved from their previous destination inspection system to something that is closer to a so-called national single window, and to ask all the relevant agencies, the Ministry of Finance there, the Nigerian Customs, Nigerian freight forwarders and shippers and other shipping and import-export institutions, their comments and experiences with regards to the transition that has been taking place there. It takes some time to make that full transition, and the role that West Blue may have played in that. So that is an exercise that has been approved by the Office of the Chief of Staff, and a team of officials of Ghana are supposed to travel to Nigeria sometime, I believe, in the next 2 weeks, if all the arrangements can be made on both sides.
To some updates on the cedi, and the recent sharp appreciation of the Ghana cedi against the US dollar appears to be ending. Over the past 4 days, the local currency has seen some marginal depreciation. But is this a sign that the cedi's recent good run is over? And my colleague George Riafe has joined me with some updates on the cedi. How are you, George?
Great. What about you? I like your Friday wear.
Thank you, George. I like yours too.
Thank you so much.
Let's talk about this currency. It's interesting. What's happening?
Well, that's the question everybody is asking him of itself, because when you look at over the past 24 to 25 days, every week on the average we're doing about a pesewa. So anybody who's seen the rates or studied the rates over the past 4 days would ask himself what is happening. And there are several rumors that are going on. You know, the Bank of Ghana earlier explained or said that, well, they are available to pump in more dollars. Right. But what we are hearing is that over the past 1 week, they've not been on the market. Now, the argument, the governor earlier explained that, well, they are not pumping in dollars every day. Now, it's gotten to an extent where when the need arises, they will push more dollars onto the market. Now, compared to about 3 weeks where the dollar went up by 25%, and on the average, every day was going up by almost 1 pesewa, to the past 4 days where we've seen the cedi go down in percentage terms to about 0.04%. Over the past few days, it's still been around 3.27, 3.28, 3.3, and all those things. And those are the actual rates you're seeing. Now, as to what is accounting for it, it could be that the Bank of Ghana has not been on the market. It could also be that some are also speculating that government's own projection is that it should be between 3 Ghana cedis, 50 pesewas, that band. So they will see how, what they have to do, how they can stay within the 3 Ghana cedi, 1 pesewa, 2 pesewas, or 3 Ghana cedi, 50 pesewas. Because again, the concern here is that we need to export more of our commodities to earn more foreign reserves or foreign currencies. If this currency appreciates too sharp, it would discourage those exporters out there, because is it worth it exporting our goods looking at the amount of local currency we're going to get? So it's a difficult situation for government. The good side is that it is good for your currency to be strong, but if it's too strong, it's not good for us, and that's the concern there.
Is the finance ministry giving us any hints on this development?
Well, they will always want to point you to the Bank of Ghana, but again, engaging people close to government and people close to the Bank of Ghana, it looks like they want to stay within the 3 Ghana cedi band, 3 Ghana cedi, 50 pesewas. But we also hear that maybe next week the Bank of Ghana might be heavy on the market again. That could push the cedi down to the 2 Ghana cedi band. But will it be sustainable? Will it be for a long time? That's the question I know many people will be asking themselves.
Yeah, and I'm asking that. Thank you very much, George, with that analysis. And we hope to see what happens with the cedi and away from the cedi. Data Bank Group's mutual funds all recorded very impressive performances in the 2014 calendar year and outperformed their respective benchmarks. The M Fund posted an annualized yield of 26.31%, outperforming both the 91-day Treasury bill and average savings rate. The fund also witnessed a 26% increase in its assets under management, ending the year at 133.11 million Ghana cedis on the back of the strong performance and the growth in shareholders and inflows. And that'll be all for business. My name is Abigail Adumakoenchi.
here on News Today. My name is Benedict Owusu, and it's now time to talk some sports. And thousands of Ghanaians, led by His Excellency, the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, that's Kwesi Arthur, paid their last respect to the late Sir Cecil Jones Atuquefi at the forecourt of the State House early today. Now, the legendary coach who passed away in May has been laid to rest at the Awudome Cemetery, and Enes Boama was there. He interacted with some people that turned up at the event. So let's just check out the interaction between Enes Boama and some football dignitaries that turned up at the Jones Atuquefi funeral.
Just as you saw yourself, you know, the first footballer ever to be given the state burial. He has been first in almost everything that he does. So that tells you the type of person he is when it comes to football. And to see people like C.K. Jamfi and other very old and footballers here, that should tell you clearly that this is somebody who in the football fraternity, he was respected, and also he has been a staunch supporter of Accra Sofo.
To say a very big thanks to God for the life of Sir Cecil Jones Atuquefi. I think in all things we give thanks to God, and I pray God and thank God for what He's done for this man's life. And at the end of the day, He's called him, and I believe He's called him to glory and eternity. This is a gentleman I've met in Accra Suffolk and had personal relationship with him. We developed a very good relationship as a brother. He was the man I always appreciate, and the man at all times we want to sit together because of his exploit for Africa. And when he knows, that I'm from Nigeria, he always said that, look, come my brother, let's talk something about the other side of the world. You know, when I was
May his soul rest in perfect peace. Now we can move on and do some more stories. And match day 24 of the First Capital Plus Premier League kicks off this afternoon with second place Brekum Chelsea taking on Bichim United. Now the Brekum side going into the fixture knowing a win can temporarily send them on top of the league and will fight tooth and nail to ensure victory against the Bichim side, who have lost their last two games. Well, Kumasi Asante Kotoko on the other side has an uphill task as they come up against Ashanti Gold on Sunday. Another defeat will condemn the defending champions to the relegation zone. But former player of the side, Emmanuel Ajimambedu, who is now with the Italian side, Udinese, believes there is no way the Porcupine Warriors will be relegated.
Don't take care since we'll be going like this and Asante Kotoko will go to relegation. I know it won't happen, but to my co-players, to my colleagues, do they want to be in a crisis where a team like Asante Kotoko lie on 10th or league table or goes to relegation? That's a very big question for them. You have to wake up. I have been telling this, and I will tell everyone that look at the character House of Folk have. Only cannot do. Why Asante Kotoko cannot do that?
The former Kumasi Asante Kotoko midfielder Emmanuel Ajimambedu there. So let's take a look at the full fixtures of matches that will be played in week 24 of the First Capital Plus Premier League, and so we can just look at the fixtures quickly. Idubiase will be at home to Accra Heart of Folk. That match will be played at the Obuase Linkley Stadium, and Olympics will come up against Mediama SC. This match will be at the Accra Sports Stadium. Bichim United will host Brekum Chelsea. That match will be played this afternoon at the Sunyani Coronation Park, at the Bichim Park rather. And Liberty Professionals will be at the Dansuman Park, where they will play host to Wafa. Kumasi Asante Kotoko, the big game this weekend is the Asante Kotoko Ashanti Gold game. Ashanti Gold, they need a point at all costs. Kumasi Asante Kotoko, they want to, end their losing streak after losing their last two games to Bichim, Brekum Chelsea, and also Wafa in midweek. Heart of Lions will also be at home to Wa All Stars, and the Diana Stars will take on Interlies with Hazakes at home to BA United at the secondary SC Pond Stadium. So that's it by way of the Ghana Premier League for you. We can now do some more, and according to Sky Sports sources, English Premier League side Aston Villa have had a £12 million bid for Ghana striker Jordan Ayew accepted by his club Lorient. Now the Premier League club are on the hunt for attacking options after selling star striker Christian Benteke to Liverpool. Manager Tim Sherwood has used a part of the £32.5 million made from the Benteke fee for the transfer of Jordan Ayew. Now the 23-year-old who is the brother of Swansea City forward Andre Ayew, scored 13 goals in all competitions last season for Lorraine. So that's it from me, Benedict Owusu. So make sure you join Nathaniel Ato at 2 for more sports. Enjoy your afternoon.
Welcome back to News Today on Joy News on Multi TV. The Chief of Staff, Julius Deborah, is inspecting dredging works on the Odor River in Accra. The project is expected to help deal with the flooding problem in the national capital. Michaela Anderson was there at the project site and joins us in the studio. Michaela, what have you seen along so far? What have you seen?
Well, the inspection of the Odor River, the dredging of the Odor River ended a while ago, 30 minutes ago, and it was done by the Chief of Staff, like you said, the Ministry of Local Government, the Minister himself, Collins Dauda, and his deputy, and then the boss of engineers and planners, the contractors working on site, and they went there to look at the progress of work so far. According to Collins Dauda, engineers and planners offered to help government deseal the Odor drain after the 3rd June disaster, and government offered to give them equipment and then fuel so they could do the work.
So we understand this is being done for free?
It's been done for free by engineers and planners, and they are saying that they don't know why we are waiting for Conti to come and do this project, because they have the expertise. So according to Ibrahim Mama, they've been working tirelessly, they've been able to clear garbage, and now they are sure that after everything is done, water will be able to flow freely in the Odor
Were you able to
River.
gather from them how long this will take?
They were not definite, but the issue is that, you know, government, there's no contract between Ibrahim Mama's company, engineers and planners, and government. Yet government has given this company a fleet of tipper trucks, equipment and fuel to work, because they said they're going to do that free of charge. And Ibrahim Mama's company is also saying, well, they are working. But the issue is, in case any of these machines break down, who is going to pay?
Whose cost will it be?
Who's going to pay?
Already,
and, you know,
taxpayers are paying for the fuel in the machines.
Definitely, and people are already asking questions, because to them, this project is capital intensive, and it's so good to be true that somebody is actually going to do this kind of work for free.
Okay, we'll keep our eyes on that and find out whether or not it's too good to be true. That's Michaela Anderson bringing us all the details. Now, Multi TV's 2015 housing exhibition Habitat Fair has opened today at the West Hills Mall in Accra. Industry players are displaying services and products in the housing sector for interested clients to make informed choices. This year's fair is under the theme Affordable Housing and Renewable Energy. Let's quickly connect with Smart Ni Akrofia for some live updates.
There's been quite a number of people passing through the stalls. There are over 25 exhibitors are already, and they're receiving the many guests or patrons who are going about the shopping, their normal shopping, both inside the mall and outside where we are. We're just at the car park of the West Hills Mall. I'm currently at the HFC stand, and I'll be speaking to one of their representatives to find out how the fair has been for them so far. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Your name?
Andrew.
Andrew.
Yes.
Okay, so how has the fair been for you so far today?
It's overwhelming. I'm surprised, because when we came, we had people waiting for us here, and it's good. It's good. So we are looking forward to more people coming up. Yeah.
What has been the general enquiries? I know you have mortgage, you have your own realty now, which is cool. What exactly have people been interested in when they come to you?
For me, they are looking at affordable housing. So, you know, we provide mortgages mainly for public sector workers. So they are asking us whether they can get affordable housing in addition to what is available as well. So that's where more of the inquiries are coming from, affordable housing. Yes.
Okay. And what offers do you have for those who are coming to the fair?
Yes, so we have, for public sector workers, we have a scheme with the government where we can give them up to 55,000 Ghana cedis on a very low interest rate, 15% per annum. For other workers, we have our home purchase mortgage where they can get houses, and we can give them up to 80% of the price of the property that they are.
Okay, it's time for some entertainment news, and this is to all dance lovers. Get ready and put on your dancing shoes because a whole new dance festival has been launched at the Silver Lounge in Accra Mall. You're about to experience dancing like never before.
Basically, it's a period that we have set aside to be able to celebrate all dance forms. So what it is rather than saying that we have one program, what we are going to have is multiple programs, and each one of them is going to speak to a particular aspect of our dance that we have. So we are going to have new traditional dance exhibition that's going to come up. We're also going to have the High Life Jam. We're going to have the Lords of the Street Dance, which is actually going to be a street dance exhibition that we are taking to the streets. We are going to have the Partner Dance Congress, which is made up of salsa, bachata, merengue, and all of these things that we are going to have. We have confirmed participation from Nigeria, Togo, and Benin already for this. And we also have the honors, where we are going to honor a few selected people that have contributed immensely to the growth and stability of the dance industry as a way. And we also eventually will leave an ongoing legacy, which is Dance Terra, a dance television program that is aimed at bringing everything dance to the fore.
Right, so will we see the resurgence of what used to be the Ghana Dance Championship that was held concurrently with the Miss Ghana?
Well, you see, a platform like this, there is no limits. This is a platform. This is a platform that we are building, and then eventually we are going to have a lot of spin-off. That area we want to call dance sports, which very soon we are actually going to be launching in that particular area. It allows us to take the competition to the next level, where Ghanaians who participate in these projects will be able to go out there and be able to represent Ghana. It's already happening, but again, it's not in the mainstream. We want to be able to achieve that. So of course, this is just a platform, the stepping stone to be able to get there, and eventually we'll stabilize it and become an activity.
Well, plans for a paperback edition of a Bill Cosby biography have been pulled following the recent claims against the comedian of sexual assault. Cosby, His Life and Times by Mark Whitaker was described as the first major biography of an American icon when it was released in September. It garnered positive results, but was later criticized for failing to address the accusations against the star. Several celebrity endorsements for the biography have since been rescinded. The publication of first edition saw the likes of Bill Kristol, Mary Tyler Moore, Jerry Seinfeld and David Letterman sing praises of the book. Now, these have now been removed from the pages promoting the book online. Simon and Shasta Vice President Carrie Goldstein told the Associated Press that representatives from some of the celebrities had contacted the publisher about removing their codes. That's it for entertainment news. It was brought to you by Airtel. Welcome back to some entertainment news now. Nigeria has made a vital step towards being declared polio-free. After marking a year without recorded cases, it can now be taken off the list of countries where the disease is endemic if the World Health Organization confirms the results. Nigeria had struggled to contain polio since some northern states imposed a ban on vaccinations in 2003. Pakistan and Afghanistan are the only countries to record cases in 2015. That's it for international news. Welcome back. Let's go to the Habitat Fair at the West Hills Mall, where the fair is ongoing, and Ni Akrofi Smart Abbey has been giving us details.
Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you.
Okay, so I see you have very interesting colors here, paints, and all that has to do with painting the house. Tell us more about it.
Yeah, paint for inside, paint for the outside. We'll recommend you the right product that you need. So when you come to Africola, we sit with you, we listen to you, and we recommend the right product.
Wow. Okay, so what are some of the I know there are types of paints, some for protection, some for preventive, something. I don't know much. Tell me more.
Exactly, you are absolutely right. Paint not only gives color and makes everything more beautiful in life, but it protects your building. Okay. So you need to choose it well. You need quality paint to protect it, to give color. On the inside, like for instance this one, you need washability. So when you make it dirty, you can clean it.
So that's my colleague Gladys Osei Oredo interacting with some of the exhibitors at the Habitat Fair. That's it for News Today. For more news, log on to myjournline.com. I'm Francisca Kakra-Forsen. Thank you for watching.